Hi, my name is Eddie Santos. I'm a retired Army Sergeant with more than 23 years, and I am a disabled vet. I've been all over the place trying to get assistance for my disability. And as for right now, the only person that seemed to help me out was when I went to the congressman's office, tried to get some assistance for him to help me get my prosthetic leg fixed. So finally the congressman had me the opportunity to go to Palo Alto in San Jose, California, where they finally fixed my prosthetic. If you need help and you seem to not get it anywhere, you should go see our congressman with the people he has there to help us veterans get what we need and what we deserve for doing our time in service for the freedom of our island and for our country.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
A lot has changed overnight, but Buick and GMC's commitment to you remains the same. We understand you want to feel safe, so we're offering current owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services. Should you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% financing for up to 84 months with deferred payment options for 120 days. Plus, you may have the option to shop online and take delivery at home. Visit our websites for the help you need.
Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
Funerals actually take a lot more planning than I expected. With us using island cuisine for the first time, of course we were iffy, but once they came and showed us their service, their food, tasted their food and everything, we definitely use them again because their service and food is just awesome.
The pompous
and elite wish we go away
because we are
real and direct.
No interest owns us,
and we have no interest but the truth.
Together we are exposing
corruption.
Together we will reform criminal justice.
Together
we are fighting violence
against women and children.
We here at
Kandit
will shine the light
on every corner of darkness.
Together we are giving a voice
to the voiceless
and forgotten. Stay lit.
Together.
Together. Together. Together. Together.
We are giving a voice to the voiceless.
We are Kandit News Group.
Mr. God 2019. I just want all of the sailors in the USS TR to know that I'm thinking and praying for you. Thank you. Bye.
Hafa, my name is Kai, and on behalf of the Island Cuisine family, I would like to send out a great big Undunklunesi Zuwas Maasi. Thank you to all USS Theodore Roosevelt sailors for all that you do. We wish and send all prayers for a speedy recovery, and we will keep you all in our thoughts. Thank you for your service. God bless.
Hafa, my family and I extend our deepest condolences to the friends, family, shipmates of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, sailor who passed away recently. May we join the people of Guam in extending our prayers and our support, and may God continue to provide comfort and strength during this very difficult time. Sujus Masi.
Hoffaday, I'm Jim Moylan, and I want to extend my condolences to the family members and the loved ones of Chief Petty Officer Charles Tracker Jr., who had passed and was amongst those who tested positive for the coronavirus on the USS Theodore Roosevelt. I understand the hardship one experiences while serving our country. I appreciate the time and effort our military members put in to protect our country and her borders and the sacrifices they made, most especially at a time like this with the extremities of COVID-19, where we all are in a fight not many have experienced before. To all those affected by this, let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers. We are in this fight together, and we will weather the storm together. Stay safe and protected, and may God bless the sailors of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, and God bless Guam.
Ladies and gentlemen, we found Kim Jong-un.
Oh, you're so funny, Eric. That's me. I'm. This is not Kim Jong-un. This is me, Governor Lulian Guerrero. I'm the governor. Just me.
My apologies.
Oh, it's okay. I know you're stupid. I know you're stupid. You're like the rest of the media, and well, anyways. On Sunday, I'm proud to announce to you that thank goodness to myself and everything that is good and transparent about me and everybody that works for me, I have declared that Sunday Ross will be open. I know. You guys are going to be there at Ross, but you have to social distance. Keep away from each other, wear your mask and your PPE. And let me see, the salon will be open. I can give you a referral to my guy, the one that did my hair the other day. And what else will be open? Bank of Guam, of course, will be open, but not Sunday. We don't open Sunday. You have to wait for 9 a.m. or something on Monday. For Bank of Guam to be open. It's the People's Bank. It's my bank. You got that? If you want to do anything on Guam, you have to have a Bank of Guam account. Thank you very much. This is not Kim Jong-un. This is Governor Lulian Guerrero. I love you all, my people.
Aloha. I'm Johnny Rosario.
And I'm Kim Jong-un.
Thank you for joining us here at Kandit. I would like to start the show off. It is May 8th, and we had a donation today, and I just want to read something. Today was the busiest day of helping people, right?
Oh, Governor Carl Gutierrez is going to love that one, yo.
Well, it is people helping people.
If he's watching, he's going to be like, you are still the one, Johnny Rosario.
No, but it is because
it truly is.
People that donated, and then it's people that were helping.
Yeah.
There was 87 families today here at the Kandit office. I was stressed out. I was sweating all day, and my baby was the one to help me today. Packaged the goods. We tried to get as much as we could to everybody. So
we ran out at one point.
We ran out, and I was
away.
stressed out.
Yeah.
I turned 12 people away, and right when I did that, God answered our prayers.
And literally, like a crate of
food got dropped off.
Yeah.
Milk, cereal, canned goods. Oh my. So.
And it was by one of the donors was a local company that doesn't want to be named.
Yeah.
Again, right?
Yeah.
And I'm having such a problem with this because I really want to say thank you to them because people really should know the generosity of these companies. But
right.
I understand they don't want to be named.
So I just have a letter from another company that donated as well.
And they don't want to be named either.
And they don't want to be named. Yeah. But this is the message. We do not wish for any recognition, but instead would like to bring attention to and congratulate our island-wide class of 2020. The world has changed so abruptly and with no notice. We have all had to change and adapt to the demands of today in order to survive. This includes so many events and milestones in life that many have been working towards and look forward to, and it has been replaced, more often than not, with pain and loss. Still, we survive and move forward. We like to reach out to our fellow Guamanians with this small gesture with the hope that it helps in some small way to lessen the weight of their struggles and lets them know that many do care. Thank you, Kandit, for all you do. Thank you for connecting us all together and for being the voice of many who otherwise would not be heard. We appreciate you. Anonymous.
Thank you, anonymous business donor.
So this they want this donation in for the class of 2020.
Are we able to say what the donation is?
Yes.
Did you say it already? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
you can go ahead.
It's $1,000 total of $25 gift certificates to Casulas.
Yes.
So, I know that's 40, right? Am I getting that right? 40 different families can benefit from that. In total, it's a very big deal. You know what I mean? And it really helps. And the plastic bags, it's just been plastic bags that we've collected over the past year that we've been using. People getting all kinds of plastic bags. Navy Exchange, Island Fresh, or whatever. There's no Payless plastic bags in this house.
No, those get thrown away.
But just know
those never make it here.
Just know that we sprayed it with alcohol before it went out. So all of this has been sanitized before giving it out.
I would say that the products that we put into these plastic bags are like anywhere from $30 to $40 worth of produce and hygiene products. Yes. There's like VO5, Colgate, toothbrushes.
Our bullies people, our group chat also donated all hygiene toiletries today.
Nice.
So thank you, bullies. I love you. We love you.
Yes, thank you very much.
And all the people that came by are very grateful and they're very happy, and we're trying to reach as much of them as we need to.
Now, we're not the only ones who are doing a food drive type thing. The company Kadu, right? For the past 3 days has been just giving away free bowls of food at different locations, right?
I believe so.
They've been at different locations.
Tony knows more. Where have they been?
Kadu's associated with Grab and Grub. This is the same owners, and they've just been cooking food and giving it out to people.
Hot meals? They've
for
been
the
giving
past
hot
3
meals?
days.
Do you know where they've been?
They've been at the Dedito Mall area.
Dedito Mall? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's them, there's buenpubechu.com, that's BUENPRUBECHU.com. All you have to do is sign up with your first and last name, your email address. It's just that simple. Whatever you order, 100% of the proceeds that aren't going to purchase the actual product is going back into the community during this COVID-19 crisis, and much of that, of course, is about giving food to people.
Yes.
You can find this on our website and also on our Facebook page as well. Then there's also the effort by our sister agency, the Guam Daily Post. And thanks to Mindy Uggan, the publisher of the Guam Daily Post, Mr. Ho, who is the owner of Cortec, which has the controlling interest of Guam Daily Post, they've put together this Feed the Hungry drive, Feed the Need drive. And through Monday, May 11, they're accepting donations of canned goods and non-perishable food items at the Guam Daily Post office, or you can call 649-1924. Their office is on the second or third floor, I can't remember, of the Cortec headquarters, right across Denny's in Tumuning.
Yeah, just call them. They'll tell them where to go.
Yeah, call them 649-1924, and they answer the phone all the time. I think starting at 8 in the morning or even before that. Are we missing any of the food drive announcements?
Fizz & Co. and the Giving Tree is also doing a food drive. I believe you drop it off at Fizz & Co.
Do we have that graphic up for the Fizz & Co. Giving Tree one? Do you have that one?
No.
Chalo, no?
No, we
Okay.
never put it up. I think it's in our messages for Candid.
Oh, okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So there's a bunch of things that will start to be open on Sunday. And prior to Candid putting out the news...
Oh, wait, by the way, if you know anybody that has a baby and they need formula, we also have formula and some diapers. We don't have all the sizes, but we do have size 3, I believe, and size 4. And then we have Similac. So for people that have babies and need help, because it's difficult to buy those things, we have those as well. What?
Someone called up. This is Johnny's story, but I'm just going to tell it. Someone called up and was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you have size 3 diapers?" And we were like, "No, I'm sorry, we only have size 5 diapers right now." She's, "Leche, only size 5?" Hey, we're not priced Costco over here.
But
we don't got all the sizes.
I did not have a newborn one, and a family came here with a newborn baby. And so they said they needed diapers and formula. So what I did was get in contact with Mr. Atkins and his wife, and they went right away and bought
Every
diapers.
day they've been bringing diapers and canned goods over here, right?
Diapers and formula for the newborn baby.
This is James Atkins Jr. and
Alexa.
Dr. Alexa Perez, right?
Yes, yes.
They're such wonderful people. I don't think we were supposed to say their names either, but oh well. Cat's out of the bag, they're donors. And thank you for bringing us back to this food drive thing, because there was something else before getting into the Sunday opening thing, and that is that I believe that because of the story Candid ran yesterday about the feminine hygiene products and how the government of Guam hasn't done diddly squat about that issue, even though we have a Bureau of Women's Affairs that has been very active about other things, except now when women are in need at this time, struggling women and girls are in need at this time. They were nowhere to be found until 9:47 a.m. this morning when Jane Flores, the director of the Bureau of Women's Affairs, sent an email asking the mayors if they would like to have her drop off feminine hygiene cups.
I do not know what that is. I'm afraid, I'm just imagining a cup down there.
So
collecting.
My cousin Shelly sent me a picture. It looks like a small version of a male cup, but it's an actual cup. Yeah, it's for collection, and it lasts for 5 years. So I guess, I don't know, you sanitize it after every use or whatever. But it's something. She said it's $60 at Kmart in the email. Jane Flores. She said it's $60 at Kmart, and so it's quite pricey. And I guess it's because you can reuse it all the time. I guess it's like very similar to non-disposable diapers, cloth diapers, right? Where you wash it, you're like, no. But it's something. It is something.
Thank you, Jane Flores.
Thank you, Jane Flores, for that.
We lit that fire under your butt, girl. You have to admit it.
Or maybe she saw our breaking news last night, and she was like, I gotta do something. I'm getting a promotion. We'll come back to that story as soon as the governor makes up her mind on whether she's gonna can Carlo Branch and Janela Carrera. We'll come back to that. Well, by the way, it's been 5 days since Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio told Janela Carrera to apologize to the people of Guam and to the media and silence. Well, actually, there is. Are you ready, Chalo? Because there is. We have actual footage of Janela Carrera responding to Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio when the Lieutenant Governor went to her office and told her to apologize to the people of Guam. One more time. Candid was able to catch that footage. We were a fly on the wall, with a tiny little camera.
That's for you, A.B. Jackson.
A lot of people been asking for that video, so we had to dig it up out of the archives. So on to more serious news. The governor is partially reopening Guam 8 a.m. Sunday. That's Mother's Day. And before Candid put out that news, I messaged my hair guy, and I was like, yo, slot me into your first availability. And he was like, I am only available. I only have one slot left at this time, on this date. And I was like, please, right now. And so he said yes. Then I pressed publish on the story. So yeah, I kept that story back until I was sure that I'm able to get a haircut as soon as possible because
Right.
when I'm, a little toasted at night, trying to, because I don't take Ambien to go to sleep, and I'm like 40 now, and I just hear the voices in my head at night, and sometimes it's 4 in the morning. I'm like, I need to get a drink.
Like, Troy, stop coming after me, Troy.
And so when I'm toasted at night, I'm like, oh, look at my hair. Oh, look at my hair. And then I Instagram myself.
True story.
And then it's just, there's no coming back from it. So anyway, the governor is allowing a partial opening of Guam on Sunday. So it includes things like salons, flower shops. And I wondered, what's with the flower shops? It's Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. So, that's why the flower shops, right? The malls, shopping centers, though there are some protocols in place I think you still have to wear your masks. Mm-hmm. You can't be congregating with people in places. So Johnny and I are trying to decide whether at 3 a.m. Sunday we are going to be first in line at Ross.
We aren't talking about it. We are going. Trust me.
I'm going to wear my steel-toe boots, though, because I will kick an old man out of the front of the line to get my place. I will.
But on a serious note, we still need to practice personal responsibility.
Yeah, honestly, I really don't think I'm going to Ross. I don't think I'm going anywhere when this thing is open because unless I need to go somewhere. And that is now going to be open. Like the salon, I really need to get a haircut, But really, for the past couple of weeks, people have been like, open the island, governor, open the island. But that doesn't mean that we need to go everywhere when the island is open. I think if we are responsible adults, what we should be doing is using this as an opportunity to exercise free will in a responsible way. Mm-hmm. That the governor is opening the island just means that we have options. It means that she is restoring our American rights back to us, that she has taken away from the beginning of this public health crisis. But do we need to go places? Mm-hmm. No, and it's because the coronavirus is still here. And we still have to be concerned about our elders and people who have compromised immune systems. And so personal responsibility is very important still. And they said that there's 10 that were released from isolation.
Retested
positive. CNN just released a report about how men who were released from isolation and tested negative for the coronavirus, they found out that the virus actually incubates in their semen for a longer amount of time, And so they go home from their isolation, they have sex with their whoever, and so the virus spreads that way. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think this Wuhan virus is anything natural. Like, I've never heard of this before.
Sexually transmitted.
Sexually transmitted now, according to a report in CNN. And so the virus is still around, people. And the governor does have a good point. That we all still have to practice.
The churches are also opening on Sunday.
That's right, the churches. And it'll be either delivered to your car communion or drive-through communion, depending on what the parish has figured out. Yeah. I think in Tumuning, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be drive-through communion. And so I'm sure they'll have some. Maybe we'll bring those regulations to you tomorrow in a story. But today we had, I think, 10, 11 stories. A lot happened today. So Guam is opening partially on Sunday. There's PCOR 2. The gym is not opening. I think that's considered in like PCOR 3. If you want the full list, go to our website. We have a story on it that has the public health directive with the real signature of Linda DeNorsi. and
too soon.
Too soon? No, I don't think so. I think we got to keep going at this. And also, it's on our Facebook page. Now that we've dispensed with the hurrah stuff, really the only story tonight is about corruption. And of the different stories that we published today, they all carry the same theme, and that is about corruption. And the reason I wanted to bring this up was because, I saw some comments from, and I understand they're like trolls of the governor or whatever, but they're trying to infiltrate people's minds and by saying things like, does it matter? Or if she didn't do these things, we would have more of an outbreak of coronavirus. But, I told you guys maybe like a week and a half ago that we were going to start coming off of this whole coronavirus thing and moving into coverage of, what Candid News was established for, is the fight against corruption. And what I want to say to our viewers is, oh my gosh, if there's nothing else that matters in this quest, in this journey for justice, it's that we fight against corruption. Absolutely it matters. Just because the governor, and maybe what she did really did help to make sure that the spread of this virus wasn't way worse. I'll give her that. Good for you, Governor. But that doesn't mean you get to pat yourself on the back and turn your back on the people of Guam and do all the babariyas you want to do, stealing money, plundering the treasury for your family's bank's benefit, or for the benefit of more power for yourself, or more influence for yourself, your family, or your staff, or your close friends. Especially at a time like this when people have been looking to the government for some leadership and some direction that is rooted in integrity and honesty, and honest management of the government's resources. And so the events of the past few weeks have left many people frustrated, including the Guam legislature. And that shone through in a special economic service meeting that was held yesterday, and in an oversight hearing that was held today. It was conducted by Senator Therese Sherlahi, the chairwoman of the Legislative Health Committee, and it was very professionally, very professionally done, with a whole lot of courtesy extended to professionals at Public Health, including the director, Linda DeNorsi, right? And afterward, the staff put out this whole informational briefing about what happened, the kinds of questions that were asked. One of the questions that I think it was Senator Sherlahi asked was about the testing that's being done, and a Dr. Manglotnia from the Public Health Laboratory told the senator and the senators who were at the oversight hearing, we are still holding the specimens and then testing within a 24-hour period, which directly contradicted a statement by the Joint Information Center just yesterday or 2 days ago when they said that they were going to start testing the right way. That is, by not storing the samples. And that comes 6-7 weeks after Abbott Laboratories said, hey, Guam and customers throughout the world, you cannot put these test specimens in a storage container, or called a VTM.
That's why it's called Abbott Now.
Abbott ID Now. You're supposed to put it directly, the swab, directly into the machine. And within 15 minutes, you get your negative. Or within 5 minutes, you get your positive result. And so the admission that Public Health was still, despite 2 days ago, the Joint Information Center saying that they've corrected the method, Public Health today saying, no, they're still doing it by the vial method, leaves a lot to be desired. And it just, again, shows the dishonesty that's happening in the government of Guam. And then Senator Jim Moylan asked Public Health Director Linda DeNorsi the million-dollar question, and that is, did you or did you not authorize the governor's legal counsel to use your signature on a March 18th series of letters? Let's take a look at that portion of the oversight hearing now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Director, and all your staff. Appreciate all your efforts there. Just going back to that contract again, I just want to be specifically clear in my mind. Director, did you authorize anyone in the governor's legal office to use your signature on March 18 designation letters to the hotels, please?
At the time, usually when I I have my electronic signature, it is, they call me. And so when they call me, they will ask, you know, what information needs to be released. And so when they did that, for that, the one they were talking about was the letters for the congregate shelter. It was just a letter that says the use of the properties, right, for the isolation and quarantine. At the time I got the call, I don't recall the call. However, as I mentioned earlier, it was a time where I don't recall the call. And
Oh
that's
my
the bit that
gosh.
I want to share.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I thank you, Director. Thank you to your staff.
Wow.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Wow.
Thank you. Any other colleagues have a question? Just raise your hand. Senator Munya?
I didn't wake up in time to catch the beginning of the oversight hearing, so I don't know if that was under oath. But, you know, I mean, it's possible that Linda's statement is, in a very technical way, accurate. Because, I mean, she's saying, I do not recall the call, which means I don't remember anyone calling me, which really is another way of saying,
They used it without my permission.
yeah, they didn't call me. You know, but it is very possible, or it is a little possible that I have a lapse in judgment.
97%, they didn't call me. The 3%, I'm checking. I
That-
need to check my caller ID.
But I think you're right, because you said this earlier today. That sounds like a woman who's lawyered up, or has spoken to the FBI, and the FBI said, you know, don't talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this so-called phone authorization is referenced in an April 1, 2020 email from a woman named June Borja, who is the Administrative Services Officer within the Legal Counsel's Office at the Governor's Office, to a woman named her coworker, Lori Tumaneng, like Tumuning, but Tumaneng. And Ms. Borja wrote to Ms. Tumaneng, per Sophia's instructions, and Sophia is referencing Sophia Diaz, the Assistant Legal Counsel, kindly requesting if you can insert Linda DeNorcy's digital signature on the attached 4 letters, please, and send back to me to send out. We have obtained Ms. DeNorcy's approval to use her digital signature on the attached files. And these letters, here, they're very short letters. I'll read you one, and they're the exact same letter except for the address line and the dear whoever. So this one is to A.J. Potvin with Mariana's Properties LLC, DBA Pacific Star Resort and Spa, regarding use of property as a quarantine or isolation facility. This is a very important document. I'll explain it in just a second. It says, and it's dated March 18, 2020. It says, Dear Mr. Potvin, thank you for allowing the use of your property as a quarantine isolation facility. Pursuant to our agreement, the Pacific Star Resort and Spa is hereby directed to be used as a non-congregate shelter pursuant to the powers afforded by the Organic Act of Guam in Chapter 19, Title 10 of the Guam Code Annotated. Signed, Lou Leongaro, the governor, and as of April 1st, Linda DeNorcy, the Director of Public Health. And that purportedly is her digital signature, which she does not recall getting a phone call to authorize the use of it, right? Chapter 19 of Title 10 is the Emergency Health Powers Act. Now, that was at 5:01 p.m., or I'm sorry, 5:07 p.m. that June Borja sent that email to Lori Tumaneng. And then Lori Tumaneng replied to June 23 minutes later with the attachments, with those 4 letters that have Linda DeNorcy's signature. This was at 5:30 p.m. on April 1, with the letters that now bear Linda DeNorcy's signatures. And copied in that email were Hai Hyun, the legal counsel, and the governor's son-in-law, and Sophia Diaz, the assistant legal counsel. Now, here's where the problem
Why
starts.
wasn't it forwarded also to Linda since her signature is on it?
Well,
so she can have a copy.
That's the $2 million question, right?
Mhm.
You know?
You send me things that even things I don't sign, but you send me everything, right?
Just so we can all know. Yeah. But really, that should have been sent to Linda. It
Mhm.
should have. So the documents, which I already said were nearly identical letters, were to the Pacific Star, Santa Fe, Wyndham, and Days Inn and they're the designation papers identifying and activating the isolation or quarantine facilities, the hotels, quote, to house persons for whom isolation or quarantine is indicated. And this language is found in section 4.4 of the Guam Pandemic Influenza Plan, which is the adopted rules that are authorized to be promulgated by Chapter 3 of Title 10, which is the law or the portion of the statute that deals with the public health authority's power to isolate and quarantine people. And the public health authority is defined as the director of public health and social services. So in this case, it's Linda DeNorsi, right? And so it says under section 4.4, DPHSS will assure the following, and then you go down, identify and activate facilities to house persons for whom isolation or quarantine is indicated, but who do not have access to an appropriate home setting. And then in section 6.7 of the plan, it says the public health director will authorize the use of isolation and or quarantine as strategies to control pandemic influenza based on the advice of the medical advisor, territorial epidemiologist, chief public health officer, or Bureau of Communicable Disease Administrator. Let's go back to looking at that letter. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's look at that list again. The public health director will authorize. It just says the public health director will authorize, and then with the advice of a whole bunch of people, and none of those titles say governor, right, or legal counsel to the governor. And then here, you know, to identify facilities, it says public health. But in these letters, on the original March 18, 2020 letter, it just had Lou Leon Guerrero's name and signature. They had to change it on April 1st to include Linda DeNorsi's name.
Because it's supposed to be her.
It's supposed to be Linda DeNorsi. In order for this to be complete, it needed to be Linda DeNorsi to do it. But, and so, wait, where am I? Oh, there we go. So there was a problem, and they attempted to fix the problem on April 1st. And apparently they did it without letting Linda DeNorsi know, which is, of course, forgery. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The controversy got deeper when Chris Barnett got Linda DeNorsi on the phone and asked her, did you authorize your signature on these documents? And she said, no, absolutely not. And then he asked her, it's very smart of him to ask her this. He said, well, if you were presented with this document today, would you sign it? She said no. But then at this oversight hearing, that changed. It was no longer no, it was no longer a firm no, I wouldn't. It was, I do not recall the call. And the first, that wasn't, Jim Moylan asking wasn't the first time that the question was asked. Therese Turlahi also made reference to this letter, and Linda DeNorsi began to evade her by saying that, you know, she's not responsible for the procurement of these facilities, and it's, you know, those letters were not about the procurement of the facilities, but furthermore, I'm not responsible for the procurement of these facilities. And so that, the controversy now gets even deeper. Because according to the law, Linda DeNorsi is responsible for the procurement of the facilities. Under 19502, and this is now the Emergency Health Powers Act, it says that Linda DeNorsi, as the public health director, has the power, and she's the only person with the power to procure facilities as may be reasonable and necessary to respond to the public health emergency with the right to take immediate possession thereof. And then there's more here about isolation and quarantine. It says the public health authority may also establish and maintain places of isolation and quarantine and sets rules and makes orders. Nowhere in the law does it say that the governor does this, and nowhere in the law, sure as shiz, does it say that the governor's legal counsel and son-in-law has the power to do this. So on top of Linda DeNorsi's testimony that she didn't conduct the procurement, and then on top of that, there's a paper trail that says who did.
Right.
And all of it's illegal. And so on March 21 at 2:13 p.m., Hai Hyun, the governor's legal counsel and son-in-law, writes an email to Civil Defense Administrator, and he says, I am handing over the management of some services we have contracted. They are active but also require chief of staff signature to fully document. Below is the list of items that I have procured, and I am writing for fully executed documents to catch up. I have acted on the direction of the governor. Aside from gathering the completed contracts, I will leave the management of these services to you. On March 21 at 2:13 p.m., clearly, Ha-hyun was in charge of the procurement and not Linda DeNorsey, like the law says. And then on March 25 at 1:15 p.m., Ha-hyun writes to Chuck Estevez again. He says, I have forwarded all the unsigned contracts to you. The AG is asking that I complete a sole source procurement record prior to him signing off. I am awaiting some docs from GHRA to help me complete it. In the meantime, please know that these are agreements and they should generally be consistent with all of the lodgings. So the remainder of that email was the list of the hotels, the number of days that Ha-hyun negotiated the use of those hotels, the flat rate of $100 per room per night, and then the services that were included, like the 3 meals a day, the decontamination of the rooms, and the house cleaning. And then again, so this is several times in a paper trail that it shows that Ha-hyun was the one in charge of the procurement. On the same day, on March 25 at 4:52 p.m., Ha-hyun writes to Budget Director Lester Carlson and tells him, we negotiated decontamination per CDC guidelines. If we end up hiring someone to just clean, that is within the scope of contract, so long as they aren't doing the move out. Ha-hyun conducted the procurement, not Linda DeNorsey. Linda DeNorsey told the truth to the Oversight Committee today, and that spells trouble for the Leon Guerrero administration. At least it should. Because where is the Attorney General?
His best friends.
I mean, it was one thing for the Attorney General to ignore the Janela Carrera leave issue. It was another thing for the Attorney General to
ignore the Joey
Uggan issue. Another thing for the Attorney General to sit right next to the governor as she signed $30 million in leads-on bond funds over to, is that Gus?
It's diarrhea all
It's what?
over. It's diarrhea all over, Troy.
It's my Gus.
No, Yumiko. It's a lot. Troy, I'm not kidding.
We'll go on a break soon.
Please, Troy. Troy.
My dog just doo-dooed right next to Troy. I was like, did you fart?
Troy, it's a lot.
Okay, I'll clean it.
It's a lot.
Oh my God. That was Yumiko. So, at any rate, Ha-hyun, Leaving Camacho, the Attorney General, is sitting right next to the governor while the governor is signing over $30 million in bonds to her son, the president of the Bank of Guam, to be kept in her bank. The Attorney General did nothing about that conflict of interest, and now we have this corruption scandal regarding the procurement of these hotels and the conflict of interest that clearly exists with the governor and her son-in-law. Tony Babauta seems to have taken a fall for it, but it doesn't seem like Tony Babauta was the one who signed these documents, and he wasn't the one that conducted the procurement.
Right.
And now we know in an oversight hearing that Linda DeNorsey admits she wasn't the one who did the procurement either, corroborating the paper trail that it was Ha-hyun that conducted the procurement. And her statement, I do not recall the call about the forgery of her signature. They cannot get away with this. In whose right mind can the governor and her son-in-law get away with this? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know who's in charge of like the oversight of something like this. I would think it's Speaker Tina Mooney Barnes because she's in charge of public accountability.
They just get everybody to swear in under oath and...
Something needs to happen. Mm-hmm. Someone needs to have an inquiry because if it's not going to be the Attorney General...
it's Congress.
That would be pretty bad. That means Guam just can't take care of its own.
Can't.
We just cannot take care of it.
She can't. She can't do the job.
Before
it's not
we go
a job
on,
for her.
Before we go on break, and because there's a lot more regarding what the senators are. The senators are getting louder now. Mm-hmm. They're getting a lot more loud. They're more brazen. They're like, I don't believe you, Governor.
Yeah,
I don't believe
like
your
that.
people. You know what I mean? We'll come back to that, and when I clean up some diarrhea. But let me see what some of your comments are. Denise Pangilinan says, send it to Janella. Thanks for the apology, the people. Buenas, Deborah and Joey Beneventi. Jacob says, Johnny is holding it together right now, and I'm laughing so hard. Jacob also says, Adaloop staff secretly calls Haihyun Jared Kushner behind his back, and I think it's glorious. Sir Conrado Bulala Runas says, they really pushing for the feds to come in with the hammer. But do we really need the feds to do it? Can't we just do it ourselves? You know? Can't we take care of injustice ourselves? Is that not something that we can do? And do we really have to stand by silently while the governor gives us the middle finger and her Janella Carrera gets to just laugh at the rest of us about, you know what, I can make any mistake I want. I can even go on 2 illegal vacations and nanny boo-boo, nothing is going to happen to me. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion when we come back from a commercial doo-doo break.
Hi, my name is Eddie Santos. I'm a retired Army Sergeant with more than 23 years, and I am a disabled vet. I've been all over the place trying to get assistance for my disability. And as for right now, the only person that seemed to help me out was when I went to the congressman's office, tried to get some assistance for him to help me get my prosthetic leg fixed. So finally the congressman had me the opportunity to go to Palo Alto in San Jose, California, where they finally fixed my prosthetic. If you need help and you seem to not get it anywhere, you should go see our congressman with the people he has there to help us veterans get what we need and what we deserve for doing our time in service for the freedom of our island and for our country.
This ad was paid for with official funds from the office of Congressman Michael F.Q. San Nicolas.
A lot has changed overnight, but Buick and GMC's commitment to you remains the same. We understand you want to feel safe, so we're offering current owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services. Should you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% financing for up to 84 months with deferred payment options for 120 days. Plus, you may have the option to shop online and take delivery at home. Visit our websites for the help you need.
Visit AutoSpot GMC today.
Funerals actually take a lot more planning than I expected. With us using island cuisine for the first time, of course we were iffy, but once they came and showed us their service, their food, we tasted their food and everything, we definitely use them again because their service and food is just awesome.
The pompous
and elite wish we go away.
because we are
Real and direct.
no interest owns us.
And we have no interest but
The truth. Together we are exposing
corruption.
Together we will reform criminal justice.
Together,
We are
Fighting violence
Against women and children.
We here at
Candid
will shine the light.
on every corner of darkness.
Together we are giving a voice
to the voiceless.
and forgotten.
Stay lit.
Together.
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 We are giving a voice to the voiceless and forgotten.
We are Candid News Group.
Hi, I'm Little Mr. Gov 2019. I just want all of the sailors in the USS TR to know that I'm thinking and praying for you. Thank you. Bye.
Hafide, my name is Kai, and on behalf of the Island Cuisine family, I would like to send out a great big Undunklun Esizuas Maasi. Thank you to all USS Theodore Roosevelt sailors for all that you do. We wish and send all prayers for a speedy recovery, and we will keep you all in our thoughts. Thank you for your service. God bless.
Hafaday, my family and I extend our deepest condolences to the friends, family, shipmates of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, sailor who passed away recently. May we join the people of Guam in extending our prayers and our support, and may God continue to provide comfort and strength during this very difficult time. Sujus Masi.
Hafaday, I'm Jim Moylan, and I want to extend my condolences to the family members and the loved ones of Chief Petty Officer Charles Tracker Jr., who had passed and was amongst those who tested positive for the coronavirus on the USS Theodore Roosevelt. I understand the hardship one experiences while serving our country, and I appreciate the time and effort our military members put in to protect our country and her borders and the sacrifices they made, most especially at a time like this with the extremities of COVID-19, where we all are in a fight not many have experienced before. To all those affected by this, let's keep them in our thoughts and prayers. We are in this fight together, and we will weather the storm together. Stay safe and protected, and may God bless the sailors of the USS Theodore Roosevelt, and God bless Guam.
So while our local governor is screwing us, there is a glimmer of hope. Also, while the legislature is just waking up to all of this, we have our Congressman San Nicolas ensuring funding for territories and local government. The following is news from the U.S. House Financial Services Committee, where Guam Congressman Michael San Nicolas presides as vice chairman. In March, committee Democrats led by Congresswoman Maxine Waters, chairwoman of the House of Committee on Financial Services, released the Financial Projections and Assistance for America's Consumers, States, Businesses, and Vulnerable Populations Act, H.R. 6321. Legislation to provide a comprehensive stimulus and public policy response to the coronavirus pandemic. The legislation executes the comprehensive plan released by Chairwoman Waters and committee Democrats in March 2020. H.R. 6321 includes provisions to support state, territory, and local governments, including a bill from Congressman Michael San Nicolas, Vice Chair of the House of Financial Services Committee, to waive matching requirements for municipal governments. Below are H.R. 6321 and his provision included in the legislative package. Quote, this measure includes individual components led by various members of the Financial Services Committee who came together to package comprehensive stimulus measures for all Americans. Territories are fully included, and we have also contributed to all of America by leading a provision to waive a federal matching fund requirement for local government, saving millions that can go to pressing needs in individual communities throughout the country. For the people, we have direct cash assistance, debt suspension, rent support, eviction restrictions, and many other provisions to ensure that everyone is able to make it through during these times. With HR 6321, we have set the stage for this recovery package to be focused on the people who need it and the small businesses that make this country strong. Truly an all-American response, Congressman San Nicolas concludes. Chairwoman Waters and Financial Services Committee members continue their efforts to ensure their critical legislation is included in the ongoing legislative process to the coronavirus crisis.
I just had to Cinderella the floor. So one of the things that the congressman was talking about was protections for tenants, and I also believe landlords. There's some sort of protections that the House Financial Services Committee wants to extend to landlords, because as tenants don't pay their rent, the landlords still have their mortgages to pay to the banks.
Right.
Like Bank of Guam. And so, Congress wants to help out with that. Coincidentally, or maybe not so coincidentally, Senator Therese Terlahi, her bill was heard today, which would extend relief to renters on Guam by prohibiting their eviction during a public health emergency. And there is, we have a story about it on our website and also on our Facebook page, and we send it on WhatsApp and all that stuff, right? But there was a lively debate about it, and there were senators who were asking about, what about landlords and stuff. What I'd be interested in knowing is how many senators, if there were landlord provisions, or actually even just with the tenant provisions, how many senators are landlords? Because that is a conflict of interest when you think about it. It just straight up is a conflict of interest. And so, it'd be interesting, because Senator Therese Terlahi introduced this thing to protect tenants. If Therese Terlahi is a landlord and she's doing this to protect tenants, then it's like the opposite of a conflict of interest, It's like she's working against her own personal interests. It would be a very selfless thing. I don't know if she's a landlord. I have no idea. I'm just going off the top of my head. But it wasn't just her who put out a lot of stuff today about, just trying to get our government in order and working for us. It was also Telos Haidegui and Jim Wellen. Oh, go ahead.
It ties into them, talking about them not telling the truth. So go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It was just both of them put out statements that they just don't buy what the governor's fiscal people are telling them. And this is born from the Special Economic Service meeting that was held yesterday,
right,
where the governor's financial officers, particularly Lester Carlson, was painting a very rose-tinted picture of government of Guam finances, saying just 1% off is what we're tracking.
And that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
None.
Not to anybody. Not to anybody. And then he started to mansplain to Sabina Perez, Regine Lee, and Therese Terlahi.
And he was very disrespectful to Therese Terlahi.
To all three of them, as I understand. And Therese Terlahi wasn't having any of it. She was like, no, Lester. I'm looking at page 3. I know exactly what you're saying, and your math just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Is basically what she was saying. Because Lester, I know Lester. I've worked with him. He's a liar. He's sent in to lie on behalf of the administration. He was sent in to lie on behalf of the Calvo administration, and that's what he's doing during the Leon Guerrero administration.
And then he sounded like he was irritated when they were putting him on the spot.
Yeah, because he's that arrogant, because he believes that they should not question him. That's Lester Carlson, the budget director.
Can those senators speak to those department heads off the record, or it always has to be on the record?
No, they have phone calls all the time.
Can Therese Terlahi call Ed Byrne herself and speak to him?
Yes, but Ed Byrne just doesn't answer her questions.
Oh.
Lester Carlson does. They say, give us a FOIA.
And Lester is Byrne's boss.
No, they should be equal. And if the governor was being honest about the financial operations of the government, Ed Byrne really should be the more important fiscal officer in the government of Guam, because he's the cash guy.
You want to hear my impression of Ed Burns?
Yes, please. Is it like Maureen Maritita?
Hello, Governor. Hello, Governor.
Good morning, Governor. This is Maureen Maritita with Guam Business News. Lovely day, Governor. Lovely day. I love your hair. I will never write anything critical of you,
That's
Governor.
pretty good, Cello. That is pretty good.
Because my nose is as brown as my hair is red and frizzy. Claire Castro says, no respect from Lester. Denise Pangolinan says, Lester, truth deflector. Yes, he is. Sorry, my computer is like pretty slow, and so I can't like see. Andy St. Nicholas says, Biba Congressman St. Nicholas, the real people's hero. Biba. Doria Cruz says, it's easy to say wait for the relief when you're living in a mansion and have drivers and maids. And thank you, Doria, for circling us back to this whole issue of corruption. Yeah,
No,
it
but
really is
according to Bonnie Hernandez, according to Yumiko, somebody's in deep shizzle.
As the governor tells all of us to go and eat cake, you know, they're living it up. And they don't see any problem. They don't see any problem with all of their people continuing to collect a paycheck. Not everyone comes in. Some of them are dedicated with the high salaries that they have to the quarantine and isolation facility
Did
sites.
you watch
to
the
make
Lacia video
No. There's a Lacia video?
of them serving food at the quarantine? We got it in our messages.
Oh, does it show the faces of patients?
I don't know.
Oh, I
It's
hope
just
not.
Lacia's voice.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Is it nice?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see it. Well, the governor's answers to the people are hungry is go and apply for food stamps. And then she doesn't dedicate enough staff for public health to process the food stamp applications on time. And so people can have those resources right away.
Most of the people that came by today applied in March
and still
haven't received anything.
And so they applied in March. That means their situation was already dire in March.
In that release, according to the lady from Public Health, that they're processing applications within 24 hours. So that was a lie.
Unless they just started processing the applications in 24 hours, but they must have a backlog because a lot of people still haven't gotten their benefits. Or maybe they process it, but it doesn't get loaded for a while because of whatever.
Right when it's done processing,
it's supposed to load?
It's supposed to load, and they have to call you to come get your card.
Wow.
Yeah.
And all the while, you know, as people are suffering, the governor is not providing many resources for people to just get a leg up, you know, during this time of crisis and struggle. There's forgeries happening on procurements, multi-million-dollar procurements for hotels.
There's contracts sitting because it's not done right.
And it leads to the governor's bank, and because there are mortgages. And how much are we supposed to put up with as people suffer through this? Why is it kosher to anybody that as people suffer, the governor and her administration take advantage of the situation? It shouldn't be, because, I mean, for crying out loud, this is Guam. We're supposed to be caring for each other. Our government is supposed to be some sort of reflection of the people. At least we would want it to be, because we elected them, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I just pushed the button with Jacob.
Why?
He says the video was really dumb. And
Like
it's
Jacob
so fake.
watched it?
Yeah, I guess I pushed the button. Now, Lacia, that's what we call, and then, yeah, I don't know.
And you know, when you think about it, and all the money that the governor wants to spend on the CARES Act on government agencies, it's like, are you crazy, lady? Exactly when are we going to have Hagutnia restoration and redevelopment during a time like this? You can kiss that goodbye for the next 2 years. That agency doesn't even need to exist anymore. Mm-hmm. Why are tens of thousands of dollars going to go to detergents and hand sanitizers and soaps at the public library that has what, as far as I know, 3 branches open, or not even open right now? Mm-hmm. They're not even open. Why is anyone getting a Gucci bag to put a laptop in? or a $749 wireless mouse for a laptop. They're so disconnected. There must be something that we can do. And this weekend, we're going to bring you news about what we are going to do as soon as we do it tomorrow. For Candid News, I'm Troy Torres.
Oh, also thanks to Sandra
sorry.
and Team Sexy $5 Bling. They donated
Team Sexy $5 Bling?
Yeah. They donated 5 cases of chicken. So I just wanted to say we were able to give the people that came in the same cars. I told them that if they wanted, they could split it, but we don't have the processing plant here to split the case. So they had to do it.
Oh, wait, it was all like frozen together or something?
And they didn't have a problem with it. They said they would figure it out.
So you planted it outside and they figured it out?
Yeah. No, I gave them the case so they could take it home and break it up. But we were able to give it to everybody. So thank you so much, Sandra. Eric's on her page, so he's popular now.
So I peeked outside a couple of times, and both times that I peeked outside, there were like 12 people in this one area, and Johnny had to go out there and be like, "You guys need to social distance."
Yeah, I kind of got upset. I'm like, excuse me, this is at risk here. No, but also Auntie Dot Chargaloff donated today.
I love her.
Her donations was mainly for the kids.
Okay.
You know, good snacks for the kids and just. And it's amazing.
Thank you, Dot.
87 people were helped today because of Candid Land.
How many people in total? Do we have a count?
Yes, I do.
Well over 100.
Way over 100. Actually, the count.
And guys, it's just us and Selena.
Yep. Thanks so much, Selena.
Actually, I'm hardly helping in this program. The most I did today for this Food for the Hungry program thing was help Eric to bag the stuff. Because he was like, Chalo, you have to stop writing right now because there's 6 people out there and they just came right now all at the same time. I was like, okay, what do I do? He was like, put 4 Vienna sausage, 2 Spam, and 1 of each of those.
Well, Thursday through Sunday, that's when we just started collecting donations. We were able to help 10. Okay. Monday, we did 7 people. Tuesday, 28 people.
Wow.
Wednesday, 13. Thursday, 18. And today, 87.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Don't ask the governor's office to add that up for you because the number will be 1,045,000. Just saying.
Yes. So I just want to say thank you, Candid Land. You really helped a lot of people. I'm hoping, because it's really painful and stressful making sure this happens, you know. I'm hoping that the governor sticks to her promise that people are going to start getting paid. So hopefully we only have to go through this program until next week.
And remember, guys, it ain't the governor who's paying you because it is not her program. This is a federal program. And it took her long enough to finally get it right on Guam so it can be implemented on Guam. So if anyone has the notion of saying, thank you, Governor, please spare me those dramatics. And if you want to thank anyone, thank your local congressman and thank all the members of Congress and President Trump for making it happen, if credit is even a thing. But I just really don't want to hear any thank you, Governor, for a program that she screwed up in getting to the people of Guam sooner. For Candid News, I'm Kim Jong-un.
And I'm Johnny.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.